$2 from PK De Niro. 1, 2. Is Fox a bad option for Team USA? Man, where the shooters at?
Yeah, it's nothing against De'Aaron. Maybe he learns how to like play that defense that he's capable of while also scoring at a high volume, because that's where I think he could improve, just staying a good defender. But I just think there's going to be 5 better guards. Just no disrespect.
It'd be a bad pick.
Jesus.
I think it's about fit more so than just who's the 5 best guard.
Thank you, Dom.
I think De'Aaron would fit. Personally, I think De'Aaron would fit better than Ja, in my opinion. I'd rather have De'Aaron than Ja for Team USA.
Y'all keep saying these high usage, score first guards and getting 5 of them on the roster. I don't think that that's the answer. I just don't think that that's the answer. And that may be a problem with like modern NBA teams, is the heliocentric, high usage, da 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 da. So then when it's time to come together and make a team, sure, people can do some stuff. But as we'll get into in this next conversation, apparently from a lot of these players, the hardest thing to do is be a part of this Team USA team, because you just have to change. You just have to change who you are, essentially. We got to talk about Jason Tatum and Anthony Edwards. The reason why people want to know, how much stock do you put into Olympic play, like going into the next couple years and the season and et cetera, et cetera?
So,
0.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I'm not gonna lie. For me, it's 0 just because of what you said earlier. Like, their situations in the NBA is completely different from what their situations are on Team USA, outside of Curry, LeBron, and maybe KD, but KD doesn't come off the bench. Oh, I can't even say KD, because KD was just asked to get buckets for Team USA. His role in the NBA, they're asking him to play way more defense. They're asking him to make more compared to Team USA. So for me personally, I put in 0. Some of the things I saw in the Olympics confirmed some of the things I already believed. So the whole Curry over JB take, but I already believed that going into it. And even if Curry didn't, play as well, I don't think that none of it would have changed. None of it would have changed.
Jalen Brunson wasn't even in the damn Olympics. Nigga didn't even get a chance.
Well,
for me,
my guy didn't get a chance. But here we are.
Okay, so wait. So you say that, and I'm glad you said that. Hold on. He said that.
You triggered my trap card.
Because I wasn't gonna say anything. You put 0 stock into it, but Jason Tatum's mommy had to get on the phone and cry about it, right? Bob Cousy, the legend, had to get on Twitter. I don't even know how Bob Cousy gets on Twitter and say, and I quote, "This isn't just a stub. This is an embarrassment for that poor kid all over the fucking world. The Olympics have gotten that big. Everyone's gonna think that that there's something wrong with this kid." The whole Twitter was crying about why they let him bring his family out there. He should have just been at home with Ella May and the baby. But you don't put no consideration into it.
Because that's all due to what we thought Jason Tatum was going into the Olympics. That has nothing to do. That's why people were upset, is because of the things that we previously thought about him going into it. And that's why he should have gotten those minutes from their perspective, from my perspective as well. So, no, the Olympics did not move Jason Tatum from 6 to 9 on my list. Curry did not move from 9 to 5 on my list. Who played like shit? Anthony Edwards did not move from 10 to 18 on my list. That's just dumb. So,
Anthony, you're 10. Oh my god. I guess my conversation used to be 0. I used to be 100% on Bezos' side. Now 30. Not that it's I'm affecting rankings or anything like that, but just the experience of it. I think that Tatum sitting on the sideline, that nigga's not forgetting that. We're talking about how he's just not going to join Team USA. I think that nigga is going to 100% play the season with something to prove. I think Anthony Edwards had to have caught on to something as to how he wasn't able to perform in some lineups. But Devin Booker, who I know today won't be popular, but for sure a couple of months ago, let alone when the Timberwolves swept the Suns, people were saying, oh yeah, Ant's better than Devin Booker. I know that had him kind of feeling some type of way. Even guys that didn't make the team, there was another name that I'm blanking on right now. Tyrese Halliburton as well. I think a lot of people that were there, Bam, now that I think about it, can gain a lot of experience in terms of how to play the game better when it's slowed down, and honestly, just in different ways in general that they can use to translate in the current NBA. So I'm going 30%. I don't think it will be a Zenkai boost to where Ant goes from 10 to 2 or anything like that, but it can definitely learn some things out there.
I kind of share some of the same sentiments as Sage, but a couple different reasoning on a couple players. One with Ant, I do think this is a Zenkai boost for him. He just got to win a gold medal with the guy that he believes is the greatest basketball player of all time. Literally, KD threw him a lob, and when he dunked it, and he was running up the court, I was like, yeah, he's fully erect. Like, he is hard. he is fully erect.
Sure,
right
that man, dreams come true.
Is living his dream right now. Like, that was eye-opening. I feel like it's similar to when LeBron and Wade got around Kobe and, like, kind of got some of that mentality. I feel like that's what that was for him, being in the same locker room with Steph, KD, and LeBron, and watching them, having to take a step back and watch them work, be a part of them working. I think that helps a lot for him. That helps a lot for Devin Booker. I definitely agree with Jason Tatum. Him with ass stains on the bench. Oh, if he don't average 35 next year, he's not. Hey, don't tell me he's not a 2.
Gonna be disappointed.
I promise you.
No.
If 100% be disappointed. If he does not go out there, I swear to God, if he don't go and scorch the earth, if him and Jaylen Brown don't go out there, like
maybe not
fucking
30.
Batman and Damian, like if they don't go out there and scorch the world for how they was treated this summer, them niggas are a bunch of threes. Porzingis is the best player as far as I'm concerned. Porzingis and Derek White and Al Horford, they're the best players because them dudes got no dog. So I take a little bit into it, but not too much.
Is the question about for the players how much it matters, or for like us up here how much it matters in terms?
Well,
of...
I think about a little bit of both. My perspective is if I'm coach GM and I go and I'm in Paris, you know, I'm eating escargot, caviar, bread, and I'm at the practices. I'm staying away from the river. I'm at the practices. I'm at the games, and I'm looking at them play. I think my main thing is what is my guy or potentially my guy look like playing with other guys? What happens when he needs to fit in? Does he know how to step up? Does he know how to take a step back, et cetera, et cetera? Does he make smart basketball plays with other smart basketball players around him? Because I think that's an issue that, you know, I saw from Ant. There's an opportunity. I think it's a universal thing. If you get a fast break and you got LeBron James on your team, your head is up because you know he's coming. You might have got the ball at the 3-point line. I'm talking about on the other team's basket. You might have got the long rebound. You're at the 3-point line and he's underneath the rim. You got to know that the freight train is coming. That last game where he had a clear lob. He had a clear lob to Bron. He just missed it. There was a pass in the corner to Jason Tatum that just missed it. I think he missed the pass to Kevin Durant. He just missed it. So then I'm kind of looking at that like, man, are you one of those smart basketball players who make smart basketball plays? Off the pick and roll, he was a little indecisive. That one game before we played France, he was also, it's the Serbia game. He had to sit down for a minute because he was indecisive. I know that people are going to think that that's a one-off, but to me that says, what happens when I surround you with smarter basketball players and talent? Are you willing to relinquish some of that, or you get your ego in the way?
Yeah, to add on, but like not just make it just about Anthony Edwards. I actually saw that from Joel Embiid. And Joel Embiid had his moments as a monster, but man, oh man, that boy didn't know how to play with Curry. It was the most obvious shit. I think even one time the commentator spoke on it when Curry like was running around and he almost like ran over Steph Curry, and the whole time, yo, that's a 3. like if Embiid just had that instead of kind of like how Bezos would describe him at times, a black hole, in the sense of once the ball there, it ain't going nowhere unless he really wants to push the ball back out. I know that sounds Mick, but nah, that was a 3 all day, every day in Golden State, whether he made or misses up to Curry. But yeah, I definitely think that there's a level to that. So fair take, whether we agree on that.
Even with that play, like you say, he was running around. It wasn't even a 3. It was open space and Curry's cutting to the lane. Like Curry,
and he ran into him. I know it's.
I'm saying Curry usually raps, but you could have just.
And Embiid, instead of seeing that Curry is taking the opportunity to cut, he sees open space and says, "Oh yeah, JoJo time," and didn't even see Curry cutting. Like he just seen the spot and got to it. Like he looked at the spot. okay, there's a spot, boom, and runs into Curry and turns it over. And I seen Curry face like, yeah, this is that shit. Like this is the difference. This is crazy. Like that. LeBron looking like, what are we doing? And Embiid looked deported. I'm not gonna lie, it looked real deported.
But that's
that happened.
But that's what Bron was saying on the shop. Like, there's only a X amount of guys that are just like high enough basketball IQ. And I think when you get on certain courts, you know, some of that stuff shows. Like, and this is just even like on a casual level. You can get on a court with some guys that you can tell just don't have high basketball IQ, and you can exploit it with some simple stuff. A back cut will work, a ghost screen will work, a little screen and roll will work. And then as you progress up more, some of them may overcompensate with athleticism, but you can still get them with some IQ. But as you get to these higher levels, and I think the Olympics is the highest of the high levels because this is basically a competitive all-star game for them. You have some guys on there that are super cerebral, and if you're not cerebral, you're gonna stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, no disagreements there.
Yeah.
Another reason why I had that question is because there's been some nasty, or maybe not nasty, conversations on Twitter about what happens when you win an Olympic gold medal. We first start off with friend of the show, Damo's guy, Kendrick Perkins, who had this crazy, or maybe not crazy, take about what happens to gold medal players when they win a gold medallion. Play that up there. Bring that up there.
In his career, what does this mean for LeBron James?
The greatest of all time. And Greeny, I know you might not like this morning, but you got one up on MJ right now. But LeBron James, he was consistently, since the start of this tournament, the best player on Team USA. Yes, at 39 years of age, but he did it in all fashions. If you wanted him to guard every position on the defensive side of things, he did that. If you wanted him to play the point and get the team orchestrated and make sure guys got the ball when they need it, he did that. If you wanted him to take over 4 quarters throughout the course of this Olympics, he did that. Everything LeBron James did at this age was a beautiful thing to watch in the Olympics, and he's one up on Jordan right now. He's been my GOAT. But every time he gets one up on MJ, because now he has 3 gold medals, MJ has 2. I mean, this is what we watching. He's the most important player in basketball.
I forgot. We didn't talk about it. Bron did guard Jokic pretty nicely. Nobody, and I don't know when that happens for the next team. I don't know if Paolo steps up to do that. But what's even more interesting is that people were having this conversation on Twitter after Curry's great shot. They put Curry Bryant. They put Stephen Curry over Kobe Bryant. This is from another friend of the show, Tatum's World. This might be my craziest take ever, but fuck it. Steph Curry over Kobe Bryant.
I felt like he already felt that shit. He just want to get it off now.
Rent was due.
So.
That's basically this entire thing, whether the Perk clip or Curry, Kobe. I thought you were going to say Curry Magic because I've seen that personally on my TO. Yeah, this is essentially a bunch of rent due, off season, month 2 part shit going on right now. In terms of takes being true or not, honestly, none of the 3 are even the most egregious worst takes I've ever heard in my life. But it's just the principle of why you're talking about it. I guess they were just in your face. That was, you got to see Darth Vader with the blue lightsaber, and now that's why he's better than Hulk Hogan and his dynamite punch. I don't fucking know. But like, it's just like, I mean, if this is the catalyst for those conversations, I guess, but we're just a bunch of yap if the Olympics is the reason as to why. LeBron, literally, right now, for me, I wake up and flip a coin on who I think the GOAT is today. Curry and Kobe, not gonna lie, it's getting to a point where I'm just thinking about Curry's career more and more, and I'm like, damn, I gotta flip a coin to determine who I think GOAT, who I think is better today. Right now, I'd probably say Kobe, but tomorrow I might say Curry and be weird. Same thing with Magic and Curry. That's a conversation that people want to hold off, but the Olympics being the catalyst for it, I'm not buying it.
One, Kendrick Perkins is just trying to get that follow back. So that's all I heard. He just wants that follow back from Bron. That was crazy glaze.
Did he freeze?
He froze.
I got Kobe 5 on my all-time list. Curry is 6. So I guess. I mean, I'm not mad at the conversation. Just don't use. I'm gonna say don't use the Olympics to get your shit off. That's disgusting. But it's not like it's that much of a gap. If you want to say Curry over Kobe, cool. You're done with the 90s. But
The GOAT conversation ended in 2020, man. I'm sorry. Not on some LeBron is finally the GOAT, which did happen for some people, but I feel like the conversation, like the points you would have for one or the other, that was solidified by 2020. By that point, LeBron had the longevity argument. By that point, LeBron didn't have the perfect finals record and Jordan did. By that point, LeBron was a better all-around player at his peak compared to Michael Jordan, who, the better scorer, the most dominant, like all of these different arguments were solidified by 2020. And that's why I said earlier, Olympic play does not matter when it comes to the conversations that we have, because I feel like as a community, we are, first of all, we've had this take on a pod before. Most of us, most of chat, most of the community we're talking to are just NBA fans. That's it. They only care about what happens in the NBA. Because we don't have these same arguments about, but Melo in the Olympics, I mean, top 3 Olympian of all time. How does that matter in all of these? That shit does not matter. Same thing with Charles Barkley. Like me and Sage were having that video about where we talked about the top 3 NBA Team USA players of all time, and Chuck was like, what, top 3, top 2 when we were talking about it?
I said he might be one, him or KD.
That's what I'm saying. But when we talk about these top 20 players, top 20, no one ever brings up, I mean, Chuck in the Olympics, though. The noticer. Like, nah, bro. Shit does not matter.
Yeah, Steph Curry over Kobe, man. RJ Hampton over Carmelo Anthony. Who was the other one that DCP said?
Something
Jaden
about
Hardy
Romeo
was trash.
Langford.
Jaden Hardy, Romeo Langford.
Over Kobe, too. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, over Kobe, man. I'm
Taco
done with
over
it.
Shaq. Isn't that what
Taco
Yeah,
over Shaq.
Taco over
Fall over
Shaq.
Shaq. I'm with it. I'm with all of it. I will say this though, on a serious note. I think Curry's the easiest player to build around in NBA history. It's not a hot take. It's a take that's hot. I also want to ask y'all, who do you think had the better franchise? Or who do you think had the better front office? Because that was the argument that I was getting into on the timeline. Who do you think had the better front office, Kobe or Curry?
Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe.
Thank you.
Kobe.
Damn.
Because sorry to ruin your clip, but case in point was the Pau
Argue
Gasol
for
trade.
Curry. Omar.
Literally, they brought Shaquille O'Neal in. Kobe Bryant was a beneficiary of their unexpected or not, had the gap. Pau Gasol came in. And they were after that.
I think it is. I think that if we're really being honest with you, the Lakers had 4 years, because at that point it was done. Like they had 4 years of bad front offices. Really like 3. Dr. Bust died, but regardless of how you spin it, they had that 2-year gap, 3-year gap of Shaq, but they still brought in some of the other guys that in that time frame they still got some good pieces off the Shaq trade that would end up being on that championship team, if I'm not mistaken. They still brought in Pau Gasol, so those are pretty decent moves. We just need a little bit of time. They let go of Phil, brought back Phil, of course, the Pau Gasol thing, and then post like 2011 or whatever the case may be, people forget they still got Dwight Howard. I'm not necessarily.
To be
worried
honest
about
with you, they still got
results.
Chris Paul. That shit got vetoed. So
Thank you. I was going
say.
there next. And people in my comments, and I gotta stop saying that anymore. People in my comment section were like, "Oh, but that got vetoed," and they were able to do it. It got vetoed due to no. It's not like he failed the physical. It's literally the powers that be decided, "Oh, I'm going to veto this trade," but they were still able to pull that off.
Even the pre 3-peat years with the Lakers. Like I understand we just jumped from Kobe Shaq to straight to the 3-peat and then the rest of his career, but I believe like 2 of those years were 60-win teams, 55+ win teams. That had Nick Van Exel, Eddie Jones, Kobe, with Shaq. Like that's a great built team to me. I don't know.
Yeah, the only way you debate that, and I'm gonna let you continue the rant, unless that was the rant.
No, that's it.
Oh, okay. The only debate is Golden State draft better, and that's a debate. It depends on how you feel.
I don't even think that's true, because when when Shaq leaves, they trade for Caron Butler and Lamar Odom. I want to say, if that was the trade, maybe I'm bugging, but I
sure
think that might have been the trade. But going forward, they draft Andrew Bynum. I mean, they didn't draft.
They draft Farmer. They draft Farmer. They draft Farmer.
Draft Jordan Farmer. Derek Fisher was a drafted player. Well, he was from the old regime. I won't count him.
No, they ain't no old regime.
I mean, he was there for the first three, but he was drafted still. I mean, but however you want to look at it. But yeah, being able to draft Andrew Bynum, who is, I mean, even if it was a weak era of bigs, top 5 center at the time, is what it is. You won a championship with him. Like you drafted him. Hey, other niggas drafted Eddie Curry, so I don't know. It could have been left. Like somebody drafted Eddie Curry.
Your draft argument. Your draft argument for the Warriors would literally be Jordan Poole, Clay, Dre, Steph. I don't think David Lee necessarily counts, but David Lee, I guess. Kuminga.
Pods.
My bad. I forgot about the B Pods, and I don't. Yeah. I mean, we've seen one season of B Pods.
We're going to. Oh wait, are we limiting from when Kobe is done? Because then you wouldn't count Kuminga. Like where we drawing the line? You know what I'm saying?
What I was personally thinking, what did they do after the fall from grace of winning? So I was thinking post 04 for Kobe in terms of drafting, and then post 2019 for the Warriors in draft.
Oh, okay. So post 2019. All right. So you got our bet. So you got Wiseman, Nico Mannion, Moses Moody, Kuminga, Patrick Baldwin, Guy Santos, and then B Pods.
Brother.
I think the Warriors surrounded Curry with a better peak team, like at the peak of their powers. And depending on how much you hold that, I guess that's the conversation. But in terms of their whole careers, who had the more stable front office, who was consistently able to give their star player championship chances year in and year out, that had to be Kobe. But, you know, the Kobe's peak teams, the 2000 Lakers, the late 2000s Lakers as well with Powell and Bynum, you compare that to KD Warriors, even the 2016 Warriors, it is going to be a tough argument. But
yeah, you can argue the Warriors peaked higher. I'll say that.
Yeah.